Hello everybody, I am back and doing another review. And today I'm going to be reviewing a biological set I got for Christmas 2 days ago. Hordika Onewa here. Alright, so let's begin. Now first off I want to point a few things out. This was a used set, but it came with all of his pieces, including his Rotuka spinner and ripcord, and the extra Rotuka spinner that the Hordika come with. He came with his canister and the instructions. He was already built when I got him, but he just had his weapons and Rotuka spinner and ripcord taken off. And he's also my fourth Hordika. As far as the Hordika goes, I have him, Onewa, Matau, and Vakama. I don't have Nuju or Vakama. And these are Hordika, not Metru or Taraga. Yeah, he's my only Onewa set. I don't have him as a Toametru or a Taraga. He's my only Onewa set. And honestly, I don't have any versions of Nuju. I have Nokama as a Metru in the Hordika. I have Matau as a Metru in the Hordika. I have Vakama as a Toa Metru. I have Onewa as a Toa Metru, as a Toa Hordika. Not Metru, Onewa as a Hordika. And I have Onewa as a Hordika, but I don't have Nuju as anything, and I don't have any of the original 2001 Taraga either. But anyway, let's get on to the review with the canister. Now, the first thing about the canister is that it has this place here where you can store extra Rotuka spinners. The one on him is the one with the code on it. This one, it doesn't have a code on it. It's nice to store them up here. It is an unscrewed canister. It has a brown top. Here you can see Onewa slashing some Vizorak webs, some like mutated water in the background. You have Stone because he's the Toa of Stone. You have Bionicle, Toa Hordika Onewa, 48 pieces, Lego logo, and firing the Rotuka spinner. On the back, you see the combination model. You can combine him and Matau and make this thing here. Just want to point out, just in case you guys don't know, most of the combination models are canon to the storyline. The combination models are storyline canon, so this thing I do believe is storyline as canon character in the storyline, some Rahi or something. This is the only Hordika combination model I can currently make because I have 4 Hordika. And I have him. I do have Matau, like I said, but you need Nuju for Nokama, and you need Vakama for Onewa. Alright, so it says the Rotuka spinner can fly 15 to 50 feet. And I've got to say, the Rotuka spinners actually work quite well. When I first got Hordika, I wasn't expecting the Rotuka spinners to be this good. The Rotuka spinners actually work very well, just because if you don't know, they fly really high. The only con there is the fact that you can lose them, but still, the function is actually pretty good working. You can store them in his canister, and the Kanoka Club code, it's P03 plus the code on the spinner. I just want to point out that the Rotuka spinner codes don't even work anymore. In fact, now that I think of it, Bionicle.com, the Generation 1 Bionicle.com is closed down, so you couldn't enter these even if you wanted to. So I'll tell you the code anyway, just for the heck of it, but it's not gonna work. You can't even enter it anywhere, really. The other cool thing about the canister is that they're stackable. Like, the bottom here has these grids or treads here, and they stack on top of the canisters. Same thing goes for the Vizorak canisters. The Vizorak and the Hordika canisters can stack on top of each other. Alright, so yeah, that's the canister. Here's the instructions. You have Bionicle, set number 8739, and the Lego logo, and Hordika Onewa. On the back, you have an ad for Legends of Metru Nui, which has been out for 10 years now. And you have the ad for the other 10-year-old sets now. You have Nadiki, Traguma, and Nivok, and Kreka. I do have Kreka, I don't have these two here. Honestly, out of these, I kind of like Kreka the best, because he seems the most realistic looking to his movie type. The Diki looks nothing like his movie type, and Nivok looks kind of like it, I guess, but not much. Cracker looks a lot like his movie type, and he has gear action too, which you can't deny is a good function. But yeah, that's another review. I already reviewed Cracker. You can browse my videos for it. You have Legends of Metro Nui, you have Lee Khan giving Vakama a Toa Stone, the Toa riding Kikanalo, the Toa after they defeated Bakuna, and Lee Khan about to jump against hoverboard or skyboard or lava great swords on. You have DVD, VHS, Muramax, Bionicle.com, and the Lego logo. Alright, so, yeah. In the instructions, you have an ad for the Hordika, and you build him. Shows you how to build him. And this is the last year that they have 3D instructions. Those are the things that are in 3D. They've had that up until 2005. In 2006, I think that's when they stop doing the 3D models of the instructions. Alright, and shows you how to store him in his canister, take off his weapons, rotate a spinner, and ripcord. And that's the wrong way to store the spinner. You could store it that way. It doesn't look right. It really, I don't know why they showed that. Here's the combination model, and I think this is only half of the instructions. The other half are in Matau's instructions. Alright, that's, like I said, that's only half of the instructions, because most of the time in combination models, the instructions are divided up into the instructions in the other set. And you have Onewa, pull the ripcord, club code, again, PO3 plus the code, translating the Bionicle writing on the spinner. You have an ad for the 2005, I think this is 2005, Bionicle.com. I don't know, it could be 2004 or even 2003, I don't know, someone's gonna tell me in the comments. You have the other Hordika, you have Vakama, Nokama, Wanua, Onewa, Matau, and Nuju. Again, I have all of them except for Vakama and Nuju. Which are ironically, they seem like the two most popular ones, and they're the ones I don't have. Here's an ad for the Vaki. I only have one Vaki. I have the brown one with the blue head, Zadak. So on the page, you have an ad for the Rahaga. I have Gaki. Gaki's my only one. And yes, most of the sets I have are the blue. I always get the blue one first. Unless the only time I did it was with the Visorak, I got the Votarak, the red one first, and the Vaki, where I got the brown one first, but he does have a blue head, so I don't know. You have this win something, which is in every single LEGO instruction, even today. It's reformatted. Alright, it's been 8 minutes, and we haven't even gotten to the set yet, so I apologize. But, here he is. Onewa himself. Now, let's get into some of the pros and cons. The first pro would be a nice color scheme. You have like brown, and you have brown, some silver, and some gray. That's good. Another pro would be the function. You have the function here. You have all Hordika have this function. You can turn this like little ball thing. By the way, this isn't the gear here. It's a different piece, and I don't know if, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think any other set comes with this ball piece. You turn it, and he has chopping action. So yes, they do have some gear action even in 2005. It's not until 2006 that gear action is pretty much killed off for good in Bionicle. But it's revived in 2015, Generation 2. And you do have some movie accuracy, so that's another pro. Like, you do have the spike here, which is accurate to the movie. You do have the chest plate, which is movie accurate. The mask looks somewhat movie accurate. Like a lot of sets in the original movies don't look that set accurate. I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing. I heard opposing opinions on both of them. But yeah, you decide whether that's a pro or con for the movies. Another pro would be the spinner function. Like I said, the spinner function is actually very, very effective. You just, the ripcord, you just put your thumb here and, yeah, I did it into the wall just to make sure that I didn't lose it. Speaking of the spinner, I'll read off the code right now. Here here is the code. Here, I'll try to get the camera to focus. The camera isn't focusing, but the code is right there. It is GSEV1G. I'll repeat it. GSEV1G. No, it's my bad. It's GSEV1R. GSEV1R. So yeah, that's the code. It ended in R, not a G. I made a mistake. Again, the codes of the spinner are in Toward alphabet characters. I memorized just about the whole alphabet and the numbers. And again, you have to add P03 to the beginning. You have to add P03 to the beginning to make it work. But again, they don't even work on Bionicle.com anymore. And the G1 Bionicle.com was taken down, so they're not going to work anyway. So yeah. And back to the pros and cons. I just want to point out one thing, is that the ripcord actually looks a lot like a Kanoka disc in a disc launcher. I think they were trying to make it look kind of like the spinner, but it looks a lot like a Kanoka disc. And it goes nicely in here. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Another pro would be some nice articulation. You got articulation in the knee, the foot, the hip, in the right arm. You have it in the elbow, the hand, and the shoulder. However, the con is that in the other arm, you only have it in the shoulder and the hand. You don't have it in the elbow. Seriously, the Torametru were the first sets to have all four limbs be bendable, to have all four limbs articulated. The Rakshu were the first to have any articulation in the limbs, but they only had their legs articulated. I guess you could say the Terakava were the first because they, I don't know, had bendable arms, I guess. I don't know, but I mean the Roxy. But as far as the standard neg system in Generation 1 Bionicle, it was pretty much the Roxy who were the first, and the Torametru the first to have all four limbs. Alright. Anyway, back to the review. Another pro would guess be the chest plate. It's really nice looking. Another pro would be the nice weapons. The weapons are called claw thumbs in the storyline. I don't know if they'll have claws on them, but still. The brown part here is plastic, and the silver part is rubber. So yeah, and you can bend these without breaking them. So yeah, or at least the rubber part. And yeah, they're pretty durable. And they also have a peg hole here, which is pretty good. But let's get into some of the cons. And yes, I'm pretty much referencing LJ's recap reviews from TTV. So yeah, some of the cons would be, the first con is his eyes. His eyes are blue. Now, blue is my favorite color, but I have to put that past me because I don't understand why his eyes are blue. I mean, in 2004 and 2005, all the Stone Bionicles have blue eyes for some reason. And no, he didn't have blue eyes in the movie. I mean, the brown Viscerac I did see had blue eyes in the movie, but he didn't have blue eyes in the movie. Not in his Metru form or his Hordika form. He didn't have blue eyes. He never had blue eyes. His tall Metru form had blue eyes, his Hordika form had blue eyes, and the brown Vaki had blue eyes or blue headpiece. And the brown Viscerac had blue eyes. I honestly don't know why all the Stone Bionicles have blue eyes. I mean, I honestly don't know why. It would make more sense to give the Toa of Water blue eyes, because Vakama had blue eyes in the movie, and she's a Toa of Water, and she's blue by default. I don't know, but I honestly don't know why he has blue eyes, but he does have blue eyes. I kind of like that, but at the same time, it kind of breaks up the color scheme, and I can see why people wouldn't like that. Another con, like I said before, is that there's no articulation in his left arm. It's the Mata piece. But, like I said, the Torametru were the first sets to have all four bendable limbs. The Roxy were the first to have any bendable limbs whatsoever. And again, you could say the Terracotta were the first because of their arms, but still. Yeah, another con would be the fact that the Rotuka spinner sticks out way in front of him. That's also a problem on the Viscerac, too. It sticks out way for. You can always take the ripcord out, but you just don't lose it. Like I said before, I'll say it again. This isn't a pro or con, but it looks a lot like a Kanoka disc. The ripcord does. But yeah, and another con would be the fact that the spinners fall off very easily, and many people have lost them. However, I've never lost any of my Rotuka spinners. I'm always careful not to lose the Rotuka spinners because they have the codes on them. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't even think that all the sets, if you buy like 2 versions of this guy never before open pre and box from Lego, I think that they would have different Rotuka spinner codes. I don't know, but I would imagine they would because I got 2 Rotuka spinner packs. They were never before used, and the coded spinner had different codes on each. And yes, the spinner pack did have its own Kanoka code. So I honestly don't know why they would I honestly don't know why they have different codes. I mean, I don't know how Lego kept track of all those codes on the Rotuka spinner if each one had like a different code. So yeah, but anyway, yeah. Also, his arm was longer in the movie. It didn't have like just this stop with this model part. Another con is that there's some, like I said, there is some movie accuracy. There is also some movie differences. Like this, is that he only had one weapon in the movie. It was in his right arm. His right arm was the one that had the weapon. His left arm did not. I just want to point out in the movie that their weapons, that they only had one hand in their movie. It was their left hand. They only had their left hand because their right arm, their weapon was pretty much their hand or part of their arm, however you put it. But he only had his left hand in the movie, and he only had one weapon too. None of them held 2 weapons at the same time, and none of them had 2 hands. All right, yeah. Well, yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say about him. I don't know if there's anything much else I can say about him. Now it's time for me to rate him. I rated him 8 out of 10. He's good. He's not my favorite Hordika. I mean, it's nice. I kind of like the blue eyes, but again, that's a nitpick because it goes against his color scheme, and I have no idea why the brown Toa and Bionicles of 2004 and 5 had blue eyes. I kind of like that. He's pretty much the Hordika are all clone sets, basically. I mean, except for their color scheme, their masks, weapons, and spinner codes. They're pretty much all the same set. Yeah, but he is still a good set. A lot of people hate the Hordika. I can kind of understand why. I mean, there's no posability in the other arm. The Rotuka spinners fall off and all that stuff. But still, he does have function. They do still have functions. And I mean, yeah, I do like the Hordika. A lot of people hate 2005, not just because of the sets, but because of the darker storyline. I have to admit the storyline is somewhat creepy, but still, it's not really that bad. Anyway, I am signing off now, and goodbye.